Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of Stronghold SHX, the road to $3.33 with myself, CryptoBanker SHX. I hope you're well. Today's August the 4th. It is a Monday. Hope you had a pleasant weekend. Before we dive into today's episode, just a prerequisite. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I ever say or do should be taken as financial advice. Now, I've got some things to share with you today. Wow. But before we do, SHX on the daily is above the magical 2 cent number, currently trading at 0.02151. It's a 0.23% change down on the daily, nothing to ever worry about. And the volume is down just over 6% at $1.61 million, doing exactly what it should be doing, in my opinion. Now, I know that we've talked about quite a lot, and it's very pressing. ETFs is Stronghold. Is SHX gonna have an ETF? And what's interesting is we've had the main account, the official account, with Sean Bennett, the CTO and co-founder of Stronghold, explaining what spot ETFs are and the crypto shift, and stating that Wall Street's not just testing the waters, they've dove in. Now, why would they be posting that? Is it just to educate people because it's a hot topic? We've seen them speak about AI and mortgage payments, insurance payments, but an ETF for Stronghold? Well, given where Stronghold is and SHX sits at right about now, it's on no major exchanges. It has a daily volume of about $1.6 million, which is amazing compared to 2 years ago, but not really up there with high performing, high liquid digital assets. It also sits at just above 2 cents and is way off a $1 billion market cap at present. And really, if you were going to have an ETF, you would expect SHX, you would expect the asset to be in the billions and the tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars of volume. And given that it's sat on Stellar and built on Stellar, surely Stellar would ETF. Now, I got told that Stellar and XLM would ETF in late July. That, unless I missed it, which I don't think I have, that hasn't happened, which is odd. Now, something's changed, clearly, in the timelines. But what's insane, and probably the most bullish thing I've ever seen for SHX, this is possibly the best find ever on SHX. Firstly, we have Mind Crypto stating that he's just found a wallet that's linked to the team wallet of Stronghold, and they've moved 5.74 million USDC and $3.09 million worth of ETH. What? Ether. To Falcon X. Now, who are Falcon X? Falcon X handled 30% of the Bitcoin ETF creations last year alone. And Stronghold have been sending a total of $26 million in USDC and Ether to them. Now, you should be getting excited because there's only two scenarios that I can see. The first is that there might be an SHX ETF in the future. I can't see why they would be sending money to them otherwise and funds. But the price is, as we know, is just above 2 cents. So what's missing? And I've been saying this What's missing is the price for SHX. It's been missing for nearly 7 years, but now it's missing more than ever. The second scenario is that SHX is about to enter into multi-billions of dollars of market cap. We are talking about the most compliant crypto, in my opinion, in the world. I'm yet to find one that's as compliant as Stronghold and SHX, and operationally compliant as well, and scaled in regulation and compliance ethics and standards. I've always said SHX will leave everything for dust, and I think we're about to see that moment. Like I say, I always say time's running out, right? I've been saying that ever since I started these episodes, but it is. Now, I also stated this, that $3.33 is just the beginning, and I know that I'm doing a show a day, Monday to Saturday, until that point is reached. There's two reasons for that. One is to get as many eyes on SHX as possible and make as many people aware of the opportunity, the life-changing opportunity and glitch in the matrix that is SHX, in my opinion. That's always been the case. Delivering at 8,325x from when I started up until that point. And we're going to share that journey together. But also, the reason why I say that, and that could happen, I don't know, with an ETF, maybe next week. No, don't start quoting me. But it could take months, years, however long it takes. But one thing is for certain, it's this, that it is just the beginning. Because when you understand SHX is a digital currency specifically designed for DeFi, and when you understand that there isn't really any DeFi available on StrongholdNet as yet, apart from through the Ether chain. So that's actually an important point. I keep getting asked about this. There is no difference in holding SHX on Ether or Stellar. Maybe the fees and the speed in which you can send it, that's it. The reason why they have the SHX Ether chain is because in 2019, they wanted to set up DeFi on StrongholdNet, and they couldn't, given the current status of the SEC within the US. Obviously, they are processing billions and billions of dollars of payments outside of crypto, and they have an award-winning, industry-leading payments business already. So the fact is that they did not want to risk that side of the business purely just to be able to do DeFi in 2019. So they have a New Zealand arm of the business. And Sean went over and met with the regulators over there. It's very much easier to have a seat at the table over there and meet with the politicians and the people of power in 2019 in New Zealand than it was in the US. So they were allowed to do that. They got granted the license and they were allowed to fulfill that. So that's where the Ether chain was born on SHX. But my point here is this. We are about to witness the defining decade of DeFi, and the best is yet to come. And so when everything is said and done, yes, you will have DeFi and staking on StrongholdNet. And as a holder, you'll be able to vote and govern and also earn SHX or maybe other currencies as well that are available on StrongholdNet by staking your stronghold. It's called Stronghold for a reason. So the incentives will be high. And here from SHX Utility Fiend, please do give them a follow if you don't already. They're saying that Paul Atkins just gave a verbal confirmation that DeFi is no longer an issue. And like he says, going back during the last MMA and they're asked about DeFi, obviously they were like, we can't do it in the current regulatory environment. But things have obviously changed in the US. And therefore, I've always said as well, an important point is that Stronghold is a bank. The same as Velo. Velo is a bank. So what's interesting as well, and just a quick point, if you do have Velo, I was the first ever person in the Strongholders community to introduce Velo. That's why Velo follow me, and I've got SHX at the end of my name. But whatever Stronghold are doing in the US, I can guarantee you that Velo are doing the same in Southeast Asia, or the equivalent. But just back here to this, The rules are changing, and yes, DeFi will be at the forefront. Of course it will. Now, like I say, it's down to the individual. Only you know what changes your life. Obviously, you wouldn't want to. No one's ever gone broke by taking profits, right? But at the same time, with SHX and everything aligning, you've got to think, or maybe be aware, that the DeFi piece will come in at some point. And that will open up a whole new world of liquidity and interest for SHX, especially given that it's made in the US. And Trump is going to do that 0% tax on US made, US born cryptos and US based crypto companies. And I've been saying that since the end of last year, and it will come to fruition. And so let's just hear what Paul Atkins is saying here.
As I've said before, the right to have self-custody of one's private property is a core American value. I believe deeply in the right to use a self-custodial digital wallet to maintain personal crypto assets and participate in on-chain activities like staking. As I've said before, the right to have...
There you go. So he's saying it, right? And that's what Stronghold and StrongholdNet were always waiting for. They were waiting for that regulatory piece. They were never going to risk the entire business for crypto. They were never going to risk it. They were always going to wait. But by waiting, what they've done is they've built the architecture for the new financial system. And especially in the US, like I say, StrongholdNet is the gateway to blockchain adoption in the US. What you're about to witness between now and November is going to blow your mind. It's going to blow my mind. But even myself, having researched and lived this for the last 2 years, day in, day out, I have never known a day like today. And all I can say, like I always do, is time is running out. Make sure you're positioned well for what's about to come. I've been screaming it for the last 2 years. You won't get this time back. You won't get these times of opportunity back. Because SHX is about to be driven not only by the entire crypto market paying attention to exactly what it is, and I'm saying pretty much every single major account getting excited and posting on SHX. Your feed will be drowned in SHX posts. You won't believe your eyes. It's going to be insane. Everything I've talked about for the last 2 years is about to come true. You're about to witness it. This is the point that I've been building towards and trying to prepare you for. And it's all about to happen at once. I will see you tomorrow. We're back for episode 20. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a good rest of day, and I'll see you on the next one.